Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Secrets of Sulphur Springs Season 2 Episode 6, and it's called Crunch Time. And yeah, it's real crunch time. There's just a lot of close calls, and there's this big thing that happened. And also want to say this, that I'm really impressed. I'm not sure if the fans complain, because I'm not sure if there's a huge fan base for this show, because there's tons of reactors and reviewers who review animation and shows and stuff, mainly Amphibia, The Owl House, Gravity Falls, all that stuff. You know, like what usually people like to look at. But people don't go onto this show, so I'm not sure if people complain. Maybe it's just me that complained. The dad, Ben's father, Emmett, only, like, we did see him in the past, but he only showed up in the present for one episode, and it was like, oh, it was supposed to be this big, impactful thing. And, like, it kind of was, but I was expecting for more episodes, like 3 to maybe 5. He did show up for 3 episodes this season, so I'm glad. I'm, I don't think it was my advice, because my review came out after season 2 was finished, so I don't know. But yeah, so Emmett, spoilers, but we're talking about the episode. Emmett does eventually leave in this episode, so because something happens, so I'm like, oh my goodness. But so I'm glad that he got to stay a little bit longer than season 1, because I was kind of like, oh, he kind of left a little bit early. It's kind of how I felt about Lilith in season 2 of The Owl House. He's like, she left in episode 4. I know, again, I understand season 3 was cut short, but still, when you still do something like that, it does make it a little bit better. Like, the lemon is a little less sour, but it doesn't change the fact it's still a sour lemon. Like, she left too early, or this kind of felt rushed. So I understand. So the lemon's a little bit more sweet. It's still a sour lemon. So season 1 of Secrets of Sulphur Springs for, like, Emmett, like, Ben's father, Griffin's grandfather, it was like a sour lemon. This is more of a sweeter lemon, because we gotta see him a little bit longer. So he's not like a main character, so it's not like a huge loss, but still. So if you watch my season 1 review, you know, like, I was kind of disappointed that he left early, but he got to stay longer. Kudos, good beans. But yeah, after this episode, there's only 2 more left. The episode afterwards, and then the season 2 finale, where a whole lot of stuff goes down. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and copyright, hasn't been going poorly. Everything's been going fine for the last 2 reviews, so fingers crossed also for this review. And hopefully everything will go on from there. I'm still looking at the new show I'm going to be doing on this channel. The Ghost of Molly McGee comes back tomorrow. And you know something? I do want, because there's only 2 episodes left. There's only 2. I could finish it, this weekend for, tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Or Saturday and Sunday I can do the Ghost in Molly McGee for the 1 episode I didn't review yet, because I had other stuff to do, and also it would kind of been, like, odd. I think I said, it was the whole situation, and the new episode would have premiered, and I would just do those 2, but I'll just think I'll save that for next week. Yeah. Yeah, I think, because this whole week has just been Secrets of Sulphur Springs, I think it'll just be best if I do episode 6 today, 7 tomorrow, the finale, episode 8, Sunday. So that'll kind of, like, end the weekend on, like, this big note, and then when we go back to Monday, you get the silly stuff with Big City Greens. On Monday I'll get back to that. Yeah. And why not to go to Mom McGee? Because I need to, like, get the clips and stuff like that. and for Disney and stuff like that. So it kind of like takes a while. It doesn't come like right away. It's weird. I'm not in control of the situation. Disney Enterprises. I don't know, but we're not gonna worry about that. Sorry, it's just kind of getting closer. Just kind of to let you guys know, because some people Friday is technically the weekend, so since we're kind of like in the final stretch, we can say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, episodes 6, 7, and 8. We are like in the final stretch of the season, and yeah, it's been a fantastic show. I think even though season 2's been shorter than season 1, because season 1 had 11 episodes, so I had like 3 more episodes in season 2. But I think because of the fact of there was like so much season 1, and it was like the first season of introducing the characters, I think you needed more episodes, and also the setup for season 2. And I think season 2, I like for like kind of like no spoilers for the finale, I think does like a pretty good job to set up season 3. Again, we're in the final stretch, so I can just say that much. It sets up season 3 where like this happens to this character and this happens with this character. What's this character gonna do? Did this happens? Like again, I want to say the characters' names and I want to use the proper pronouns, because basically I'm saying like it could be anybody basically. And oh my god, again, I want to be patient. Oh, I want to be patient, but I'm just like I said. What happens in the season 2 finale? It sets up for season 3, and I'm so glad there's gonna be a season 3, because you can't end it like that. You're playing with my feelings. Oh my goodness, you're playing with my feelings. But because I love these characters so much, I've grown to love them. Because when I first watched like season 1 like on my own before I did my reviews and stuff like that, I was kind of, what was it, episode 3 or something? I was kind of like, just went into like the middle of the episodes, and you can just tell by my expression, like I was just confused by everything. What is this show? And then I kind of got more into it. It's like, oh, it's a pretty good show. I'll give it a try and stuff like that. So I grown to love the characters. At first, it was kind of like, and now I just love them, and to see them in these states at the end of the season. I really hope I'm not overhyping it. I really don't want to do that, because like, oh, he overhyped this. The episode was fine before he showed up. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to do that. So I just better stop talking. Just talk about episode 6. We're not episode 8 yet. We're not there. But yeah. And also, I'm. I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't have said anything, but I guess I'm most likely gonna see like a movie on during the weekend, so hopefully episode 7 and 8 won't get like jiggled around. I'm sure everything's gonna be fine, because like the movie will be like around. I don't know, like I don't even know what time I need to look at it, but and I guess like no spoilers for Jurassic World Dominion, because one, I had no idea what happens, and two, um, I'm not gonna do a review on the channel, because again I didn't do like a trailer review, trailer reaction, so I'm not gonna do a movie review like I did for Sonic 2. And if you're wondering, I don't know when I'm gonna do my Doctor Strange 2, like in the Multiverse of Madness review. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that, but I did see the movie. But what I heard, again, I guess spoilers kind of, but people have been getting like mixed messages from the movie. Like I've been getting mixed messages, because people said they love it, people said they kind of like it, people said it was kind of bad. Uh, you know, people keep on saying like the first Jurassic World movie is like the best Jurassic World movie. I was kind of thinking, well, maybe this finale, because this is going to be the final Jurassic Park / Jurassic World movie ever. I mean, unless something else comes up, this is going to be the final one. And people said like the first Jurassic World movie is still like better, like way better. So I'm still going to see the movie. Just, I kind of have low expectations. I'm not sure that's a good thing. I don't know, but I'm gonna see what happens. But I think it would still be a pretty good action movie, and you know. But we're not here to talk about Jurassic World Dominion. Oh my goodness, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Secrets of Sulphur Springs, Season 2, Episode 6, Crunch Time. Here to talk about that. And first seasons first, so let's actually get into the episode. So sorry if I kind of bored you a little bit with Jurassic World and how I felt about the show and stuff and about the characters, but I didn't really think I was going to do that this episode, but it happened, so. First things first. Where we start is kind of like where we left off, where Elijah is holding the papers, saying like you have 40 hours to evict. The sheriff leaves, and Sam's like, "Oh, you said Judge Walker was a man of his word." Is that I know what I said, but it looks like the judge changed his mind, and you're kind of like, "Papa, you can't like sell the farm." It's like you gotta take this to the court. You think any man in that court will believe my word over Judge Walker's word? Like you're out of your mind. Like we can't fight this. But 2 days isn't enough. But we better start. We better hustle. We gotta move our stuff. But Sam's like, we gotta fight, and a lot. Isaiah's like no. And he takes his son inside, and Harper's still there. Savannah, we're hiding behind the porch, goes to Harper. You can't let the slimy judge win. You got to stop him. He said yeah, we well, no, actually Harper said what are we gonna do? This is how my family lost the Tremont, their home, their farm. There's something really we can do. But because even Savannah said your brother Sam is right, basically. And Harper said just really nothing we can do unless we can get the document, and Savannah's like, it's the start. But we get to, do we get to here where the house is? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, I guess I wasn't talking for too long, I guess. I kind of thought I was, but the thing didn't come down, so. But you basically, hear you see the house, and then you have Griffin, and it's like, okay, come on, Daisy. And, you see Daisy, and, you just have Daisy looking at the lamps kind of flickering, and she's like, Mother? And, and then you have Griffin's like, Daisy, come on. And, she just kind of looks at it one more time. It's kind of flickering some more. She walks away. And, Griffin's kind of, talking about Daisy. Oh, you look like Harper, but, I didn't think you could actually pull it off. I'm not saying that you didn't do a good job. I didn't think anyone would recognize you. Harper's just... And then Daisy kind of interrupts and saying, oh, she's special to you. And he's like, different. Which is kind of nice. I kind of want to play it. Hopefully it won't be too long. I think about here. Yeah.
Harper is special. Different. So,
Okay. I'm glad I got rid of that thing at the bottom. Whatever that was. But I just love the pause that Griffin did, because and I'm sorry you're kind of tired of me gushing about Griffin and Harper. I'm sorry. But and she's like, oh, Harper, and she's like, oh, special, and he's like, different. I think about this point, I think Griffin realized himself that he has a crush on Harper, and Daisy realized this. Because I think in season 1 where I was kind of thinking, oh, they're kind of showing major vibes that they like each other. And when it came to the time where Harper, remember back in season 1, where Harper made up the thing, oh, Griffin and I were playing cards and making out, and then Griffin said, you didn't have to say explicitly that we were making out. Like, kind of, he showed really disinterest. I think by this time of Harper being away, and him kind of reflecting on her, him being on an adventure like by himself, because he's just been by himself this whole time. Then Harper came into his life, and he just been with her, and then now that she's gone, we had Daisy that kind of looks like her, and Daisy kind of tell him what's what, kind of. Again, when it kind of looks like, you know, now Griffin's kind of realizing by this point, like, I think I care about Harper a little bit more than just a best friend. I think Griffin's starting to, like, realize that. So, I just love, Griffin's pause. Like, she's, she's different. Daisy just giving him looks. It's okay, so you're ready to go. And Daisy's like, I miss Papa and Sam so much, but I can't just leave my mother here. And Griffin just freaks out. Just a kid from Chicago. This probably doesn't mean anything, but is this like a sign that Griffin like still misses Chicago? It could just be that he just happened to find a shirt and just put it on. I'm probably just over analyzing, but I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, he could just like Chicago and just got it from Chicago and he's just wearing it. But I'm kind of thinking, is this like a small part of him where Chicago is my true home? I'm just kind of staying here for Harper. And this whole Tremont thing, that even though I love the mysteries and saving Savannah, helping solving the mystery of Grace and Mossman and stuff like that, it's all been great. But the opening of Tremont thing, that has been like, to him, like, that's been my dad's dream. Like, it was never really like Griffin's like ideal thing. So could it be like a small part of him that still misses Chicago? And I say there's like a big possibility. Yeah. I think there could be a big possibility of Griffin, still missing Chicago a bit. But I just really could just be analyzing. Is the fan on? Sorry, it's getting a little bit hot. But so I might be overanalyzing, but basically he's saying like, no, you have to switch back, like or Harper won't exist. And she's like, what about my mother? Like, I can't just leave her here. I know what it's like to be trapped. Like at a place that you don't want to be. It feels awful. And Griffin's like, and basically he's kind of explaining things, and she's like, even Grace is looking at, not Grace, Grace, no, sorry, Daisy's like looking in the mirror like, my mother, like, she needs me. You can see the painful, like the pain in her eyes, and Griffin's like saying, I just want to get to the clip where, yeah, I'm going to try two, but it won't be too long, but, like right here. Right here? Yeah, I think like about right here.
Your dad, Sam, Harper, they all need you.
Sorry, I didn't want to go on for too long, but basically, we say, I know you want to help out Grace, but that was kind of like the first part, but I had to cut that out. I got, it's no longer there, so I didn't play it, so we're all good. But I had this little Griffin, he's like, I know you want to help Grace, but Sam, like your dad, Harper, they all need you. They're your family. And Daisy's just heartbroken, but she knows that Griffin's right. And I love, all this moment. Forgive me, mother, but I had to do this. Oh my gosh. Daisy just goes through the basement. Just leaves behind the mirror. kind of letting go. I have a chance like to reconnect with my mother by kind of leaving her behind. Grace kind of shows a hamper that she did it too. But hopefully Grace isn't going to go on a vengeful spree and she understands why Daisy has to do this. Hopefully she understands. And I'm just going to show the handprint, which I don't think is a bad place to end with the clips. I'm still going to talk about the episode, but, and to continue to review. But, just it shows like a somber message of letting go someone, having a chance to reconnect, but there's a greater responsibility you have to do, and is it the right thing, is the wrong thing, the timing's awful. Grace just puts her handprint on it also, kind of showing that like I'm with you. Oh my goodness. But we go to we go to the bunker, and wait, no, I don't think we go back to Griffin and what's it? Daisy. No, I don't think we go back to them. We who did we go back to? Kind of wondering now. Sorry, I'm just I kind of lost my train of thought of who we go back to. Was it Sarah? I think it was like Sarah. I think she was like walking around. They needed like electricity. No, sorry. She was walking around and she heard on Wyatt and Zoe's tablet of it like, oh, it's like the ghost hunter. She's like, oh, Wyatt and Zoe. Boom, the tablet turns off, or the tablet iPad. She's about to go, gonna go like turn it on or see what's up with it, and it, it's going crazy. The lights are going crazy and everything, and she goes, I'm down there, and you have Wyatt and Zoe covering her ears. Like, what the heck's going on? They, and also Topher like, what's going on? And then she's like, go outside, and like, it's the ghost. And then she's like, they even asked, where's your father? And like, he's outside, I think. Let's go. And Sulphur runs with them. I'm getting out of here. And it's like, Ben, and also Ben and Emmett are there. They're kind of working together. That's nice. Is it Ben? The electrical system, the radio, it's all going crazy. And like, we heard it downstairs, and Sarah's like, it's happening upstairs too. And Emmett's like, it's nothing to worry about. We had to call the contractor guy to, fix the whole electrical system. It's not just a few wires. It's like the whole box. Like, where's the fuse box? And Ben's like in the basement. I'm like, oh my gosh, Daisy and Griffin are in the basement, and that's not good. They find out what's going on. Where's actually Harper and who's actually here and what Griffin's been doing and what happened to Savannah. Because Ben knows partially the truth that Savannah has like a new family, but it ran away, but Ben doesn't know about the whole time travel thing. I had a theory that he might have, but he doesn't. So, so they're gonna head down to the basement basically, and the let's see. Oh, I think this is where we go back to. Oh, this thing, the fuse box, and Topher's like, this is no fuse box. Topher's like, it's the ghost saying a warning. Put back the stone or else. And then Wyatt's kind of about to say something. Zoe covers her mouth. Don't do that, Zoe. Zoe says, like, don't. Like, don't say a word. Because I guess Zoe's like in denial or saying it's like the stone's like not connected with like the ghost or something. But Wyatt's kind of like believing because Wyatt's like the more paranormal one, well, sorry, not paranormal, paranoid one, because with the wearing the hat and sleeping on the ground, not sleeping in bed and stuff, because it's like superstitions. While Zoe, even though she's into paranormal and stuff like that, but she's not paranoid, so she's kind of like, I'm not gonna give up the son that easy. While Wyatt is kind of more willing to listen, so you know. But Zoe, don't cover your brother's mouth, like don't do that. Because Wyatt was about to reveal the location, but it's not even there anymore. So, even they say well, no, sorry, that was later. I was about to talk about Wyatt again. That's later. But we go back to the 1930s, 1932, where we have Savannah and Harper, looking at Sam, and Sam's like pacing, and then there's Sam pacing, and Harper said, oh, he always does it when he's like anxious, and Savannah says he does that when he's an adult also, and basically they walk to him. Savannah basically, because Sam doesn't know who Savannah is at this point, but so Harper Savannah kind of walks away. And basically, the judge's fancy car, is arriving soon, and Harper's like, Sam, what are you doing? And it's like, what do you think I'm doing? I'm saving the farm, and you're here doing nothing. I'm stopping you. Like, you can't talk to a judge like that, like that. Like, it's very dangerous. You can get hurt. It's like, I'm trying to fight for our mother's farm. It's like, I want to help too, but not like this. And obviously Judge Walker is walking up the stairs to the courtroom, and Sam's like, you promised you were a man of your word, that we can, you take the springs in the land, but we could live in the house. And obviously, Harper's kind of like, Sam, we have to go. Judge Walker, is very busy, and she's, oh, you better listen to Papa's Papa's waiting for us. And you basically have Judge Walker's like, oh, she's right, son. You better listen to your sister and your father. And he goes in. Also forgot that what was it? Elijah said like, Sam, come back, and he's like, no, if you're not gonna fight for our farm, then I will. And that's where Savannah and Harper went after him. So sorry, I forgot about that scene. And there was a point where after Judge Walker and the other two, I guess congressmen or other judges, I don't know, 12 Angry Men, maybe. And hey, in the comments, have you guys seen that movie? I have. I think I've seen it twice. But have you guys seen that movie? Yeah, maybe you have. Who knows? I thought it was a good movie. But besides that, Harper's kind of saying, like, you can't do it. It's like, you're not helping. Papa's not helping. Like, I understand Papa because he's so heartbroken about Mother, but I thought you of all people would want to stand and fight. And she's like, I want to, but it's a losing battle, Topher. And I'm like, oh no. And he's like, who's Topher? What? And she's like, forget about it. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, Harper, you can't do that. And you're seeing like your little brother in Topher, and like, oh my goodness, that's kind of sweet, but it's very bad because Sam's being more suspicious, but he doesn't have time for this. Like, Sam just like, even like Harper tries to like tug on his arm, kind of like it's gonna be okay, but he just shrugs her away and runs. And Savannah says by the fruit stand, and Harper's like, where'd you go? He's like, oh, I didn't want to be caught and stuff, like Oh, and also Savannah was actually looking in the window and saw that Judge Walker he's actually talking to like another judge or something. He's like, oh, like that little boy made a really big fuss. It's like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. But hey, I got a real document right here. So yeah, Judge Walker did, scam them. Like he duped them, because that's even in the description. Judge Walker duped them, and I think it was this judge. I mean, his name is Judge Walker. I'm thinking the description just said judge, but the judge duped them. And it's like, you got a real document, do you want to throw it out in Tuesday's trash? It's like, no, I'm just going to keep it in the drawer for now. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. He's like, okay. And that's where Savannah went back to Harper near the fruit stand. It's like, oh, I found out where Judge Walker is, like, hiding the document. We can get it. Okay, come on, look. I guess it's like, Bizima Harper said that we can save the farm. Like, I have an idea. So that's pretty cool. We get to Ben and Emmett basically kind of fixing the fuse box and saying, like, oh, we can finally get this rust bucket up and running, basically. And it's like, oh, like, I can be your first guest, basically. This house is not gonna, like, stop me, basically. I'm like, ooh. And I still have that theory. Are the families connected of John Walker and, Emmett Campbell? There might be, because I don't think Grace I don't think she likes Emmett, but I don't know. But, who knows? But, and then he's like, oh, like, if you want me, that is, like, he's still trying to reconnect with his son, and he's like, oh, like, yeah, of course, Dad, like, no reservation required, you're always welcome here, and I had a nice time doing this with you. He's like, yeah, it's been nice. Oh, hold the flashlight a little higher. You did it, and you have Griffin and Daisy. He puts in the crystal, and, like, they're about to, ready to go, and, like, okay, let's do this, all right. And then Emmett just, he got shot, and he's like, Dad, and boom, the power goes out. Oh my goodness, like, what happened? And you have a Griffin just trying to do the chains not working, and Griffin just doesn't, he's trying to turn it, and then Daisy's like, no, Griffin's not working. You just hear the pain in Griffin's voice saying, I have to get to Harper, I can't leave her trapped there. The boy's in love. Oh my goodness. It could be best friend talk, but I think it's love. Either way, it's fine, and it's really sweet. He's like, I can't just leave Harper trapped there. It's like, and she's like, Griffin, we saw a crack in the crystal. Maybe it's not gonna work. We can find another way. Don't worry, it'll be fine. She's trying to comfort him. And she's like, no, the only way to time travel is through this, capsule. The other way. You have Griffin just, he's not very muscular. He can't, like, turn it, or even if he was, he would break it. And he's sitting down the steps for, like, the defeat. And Griffin's like, I'm not going to give up on her. And Daisy's like, okay, what are we going to do? We got to turn that power back on. Like, okay, I'll follow you. Because Daisy comes to a point right here where she trusts Griffin. She trusts him. I think it's like 100% now. Like, I trust him. And, because they had like a 4-episode arc. So like, by this point, they trust each other, and they're about to turn the power back on, and you basically have Ben saying, like, Dad, let me call an ambulance. He's like, no, I'm fine. It was just a little shock. It's like, oh my goodness, you look terrible. I'm gonna call an ambulance. Like, I'm fine, Sarah. But then he's like, what was it, like, Dad, look, it's smoke. He's like, oh my goodness, like we have to call someone. And then obviously Ben, he's a good dad. He's like, where's Griffin? Where's Griffin? He goes back inside. They're like, I don't know. He goes back inside. You have Griffin and Daisy. Is it like, oh, you turn the power back on? No, I'll go find a fire extinguisher. You call 911. And she's like, 911, because they don't have that. Is it, oh, did you just put in the numbers to say it's an emergency? Is it, oh, there you two are? Is, yeah, we saw smoke. Well, we're calling 911 right now. Come on, let's go. And he's like, oh, okay. And so Sarah gives the address, and even like Jess comes in and is like, oh, Topher, Harper, you're safe. He gives the kids hugs, even though it's not Harper, it's Daisy, but Jess doesn't know that. Obviously the firemen and the ambulance and the ladies like checking his eyesight. It's like, oh, you took quite a fall. Like, you better, kind of rest up. He's like, I'm fine. And kind of talk back to her. I'm like, oh my goodness, don't do that. And she's like, am I clear? Like, to take it easy. And he's like, clear, because he kind of got intimidated. I think she was a doctor, but I'm not completely sure. I think she was this person who like was in the ambulance. I think this was checking. I think she's just like, qualified to check if he's alright, basically, to give that call. I would assume. And these have just like, come on, Topher, come on, Harper, let's go. Harper just waves Griffin like goodbye. Like we have to Daisy just waves goodbye to Griffin. We had to figure out something else. Also there was a fireman that had to went to 205. There was this, it's like more smoke. But the smoke looks kind of weird. He kind of has a weird feeling. He kind of looks for a fire. The sun. He leaves, talks to Sarah. Oh, you're Mrs. Campbell? Like, yeah, and I want to talk to you about something. What is it? When she said, oh, everything's fine. Yeah, see anything weird up there? Because she doesn't want to sound any more crazy than she wants to her family. She's more open and honest, which is good. But she's kind of, do you see anything weird up there? 205. You have a pretty good draft up there, but there's no smoke, but there was like a mist. Oh, there's a mist. Is that Grace? Like, why 205 specifically? Was that her bedroom? Who knows? But that's not where the rocking chair was. So that wasn't another ghost. Who knows? But it probably was Grace. Put a mist, very spooky. And she's like, oh, okay, but thanks. So no fire. And it's like, oh, any toxins? Like, no toxins. Safe to go in, as safe as you can. And we go back to Savannah and Harper, where we had to get a plan to go get in the document. Okay, Harper, you get the document. I'll distract Judge Walker from going in his office. And when he leaves his office, I'll prevent him from going back in. Harper just sneaks around. I believe she gets in, but she gets the document basically, and Savannah tells her which drawer it is. But she's like, "Oh, Judge Walker, I wanted to ask you something. What is it? Oh, I was always fascinated by this being a lawyer stuff, crime fighting. It's very fun. Oh, that's sweet of you, little lady." And he's like, you heard about this alligator one? Like, can you do that? And he's like, oh, I'm not sure I heard about that. Oh, it's pretty cool, these laws of helping people. I always wanted to do that. He's like, oh, that's sweet. You want to be a lawyer, but wouldn't you want to be a lawyer's wife in 1932? What are you gonna do? And he's like, oh, look, you just ask my wifey. And just the way he said that, it was very slimy. Oh my goodness, no. And she's like, well, I don't understand. Like, she kind of understands, but she had to kind of play dumb. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Because she's originally from like the 1990s. Then she moved to the 1962 for a new family. Now she's in the 1930s. It's so weird. But so in case you were wondering, I'm pretty sure you're right now, but yeah, Savannah is living in the past of the original timeline that she was in. Yeah. But anyway, so and then Savannah is like, oh, you got the document, Harper? He's like, yeah, I got it. He's like, oh yeah, the judge is awful. She kept on talking about like I could be like a judge's wifey. Like, oh my goodness, like so so much 1930s garbage, and like come on, let's go. Let's get out of here. And basically, we gotta get to see your brother Sam, like to your great grandfather. It's like, no, we're gonna give it to the right person. Oh, who? And she doesn't say who. It's like, it's like, probably give it to Daisy. Probably like, she says someone that I trust with it. So probably Daisy. And we have we have Jess and Topher and Daisy, who they think is Harper, saying like, you kids can't go back there. I can't believe you keep on going back there. It's like, Topher's like, you don't want to have friends? Because Topher grown to love not Griffin, but to Zoe and Wyatt. He found friends with them. He's like, I didn't say you can have friends, Topher, of course. And I'm not saying you can't be friends with the Campbell kids. They're nice kids. I don't mind that. I just don't mind you going to the Tremont. Oh my goodness. Like, it's just, the ghost is, I don't know about a ghost. Like, cursed, haunted. I don't know. But that place has been haunted for years. Even before the whole Savannah fiasco, that place has always been like haunting. And Topher's like, can it be on the table? It's like, no, you kids can't go back there. And both hug their mom, And even Topher said we're always drawn to that place, and I wonder why. Grace is part of the family, and Daisy said, "Oh, it's always part of the family because the father was always dad was always obsessed with it, and now it's not just his land, her land, it's our land, like it's our house, kind of. If you look down the family tree." And she said, "Oh, that trunk really helped you." He's like, "Yeah," and you look in the family tree. She's like, "Well, there's nothing we can do about it now. We are drawn to it, but we had to stay away, basically. Even though we found new friends, but we had to stay away." They hug each other. Daisy like hugs Jess, which is really funny, but it's also very sweet. It's like she hugs her back and she gets like a smile, and she goes to her room. And and Topher said, "Oh, that's a really good one." And Daisy says, "Topher, I meant every word of what I said." And Topher's like, And he nods it, and excuse me, he goes back to, why am I mind blanking? Oh my goodness. He goes back to his room, basically. And Daisy kind of looks around, looks for Jess. She goes outside to go home, basically. She has to go back to her father and her papa and Sam, her little brother. Then we basically have what was it? We have Ben, Emmett, and Sarah. Sarah's like, you don't have to leave right now, and Emmett's leaving. But I'm glad we had 3 episodes with them because it's really near the end of the episode. This episode right here, but we had them for 3, so it's better than 1, basically. And he's like, "I can't say yours, but Dad, it's been really fun working with you." "Yeah, I know it was until today. All the contractors quit. They quit. No one wants to come back to this place. I tried. I really wanted this work. I really did it. I really wanted to make amends. I really did. But whatever this thing is, cursed, haunted, Savannah, basically when he told me about Savannah, it's not her anymore. If it's not her, another ghost, a specter, whatever's in there, it wants us out, and it doesn't want anyone in. It's a lost cause, Bennett, and I'm really sorry." So Emmett's not he's trying to be a better father. He's not trying to put it his own way. He did really try. And he's like, I'm sorry, but even Sarah said, "Oh, you should really rest." But he's like, I'm fine. I forgot if he drove or he has a taxi. I think it'd be better suited for if he drove. If he went to a taxi, so he doesn't have to drive. But I forgot if he drove or not. I'm not sure. Either way, he went in the car, drove off, or someone drove off for him. I don't know. I'm not sure. Ben just looks in defeat, like, "Can't believe this ghost or whatever drove my father away." Oh my goodness. They go back inside. We have Daisy looking for people, and there's no one. We have Griffin, and then Ben's like, "Griffin, I need you in for a second." He's like, "Oh, I need your help with something." And it's like to light up candles, basically. And he's like, "Oh, God, all right, I'm coming." And he's like, "Oh, no, I had to go for my dad because I don't want to get into any more trouble than I could be. Because I'm not in any trouble, but I don't want any more trouble. So just go to the other, the other way to the basement. Just good luck." And he's like, and she turns around to see him. "Oh, well, what's wrong?" And she's like, "Well, just goodbye. I'm gonna kind of miss you. I'm gonna kind of miss you too, but it's kind of good. Like, good luck." And she's like, "Thanks." And she goes in, and she's to tell Harper to switch back, ASAP. But we gotta do this quick. Okay. And then she's like, hey, Griffin, come on, I need you." "Okay." And he's like, coming, and we have basically Savannah and Harper back in 1932, and we have Savannah's like, "Who are we gonna give it to then? If we're not gonna give it to your brother and into Elijah." And we have Daisy kind of, "Oh, who's that?" And it's Daisy. Both Daisy and Harper hug each other, but they're both in the opposite clothes of what they're supposed to be wearing, which is pretty funny. And then they say, "Oh, you must be Savannah." And say, "Oh, you're Daisy. Nice to meet you." Like, "Oh, it's, "Oh, how's Sulphur?" Like, "Oh, he's fine. I love him. Like, I love him already. He's nice. I love Sam too." And then Savannah's like, oh wow, like 2 years, so like like you look exactly the same. Like it's pretty cool to see you guys seeing each other. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like, oh, I gotta tell you something. What was this, Savannah? Like, oh, this judge person, he stole the land, and like, oh, look at this. Here's the evidence. He's like, oh my goodness, we can save the farm. Harper kind of slowly takes it away from Daisy. She's like, what the heck? I'm like, uh, um, and she's like, no, you're not gonna save the farm. Daisy, you're gonna do the opposite of that. And both Savannah and Daisy are confused. Like, I can save my mother's farm. I'm like, Savannah. I'm like, not Savannah. Savannah's innocent. Savannah's innocent for once. But Harper's kind of, no, we're gonna do the opposite. I'm like, when I first thought, I was like, Harper, why don't you want to save the farm? Don't you want to save the farm? What's going on? When I longer thought about it, they need to lose the farm for things to happen. For the Campbells to buy the Tremont and for them meeting. It's all in the timeline. You can't mess with the timeline or everything will go kablooey. And maybe have like a counter argument. Or what about Daisy meeting Griffin and Daisy meeting Topher and Daisy meeting Harper, and like they're both part of the same family? Why doesn't that work? Because that wasn't in any history books. Because Daisy probably just said like, I just spent my life, and she didn't say anything about time traveling and about Sam building a time machine. That stuff happened in their town. No, it happened, but they just didn't tell anyone about it. Daisy never told the inventors about what happened to Sam, and she never said anything to her father, her papa, so no one know about it. But the events did happen. But losing the farm, losing the hotel, it wasn't a hotel, because even Harper said like, oh, it's only happened to the farm. Oh yeah, I know, it got turned to a hotel. Like, nothing that they can do about it. So yeah, so losing the farm, that's what happened. So that stuff needs to happen for time to flow. Basically, we're gonna get multiple branches of timelines, basically. And they're both kind of confused, like what's going on. Griffin and Ben lit all the candles, and Ben's like sitting on the step. Griffin sits down next to him. It's like, Dad, I'm so sorry that you feel defeated. Like, I wish I can do something. He's like, no, really, you can do. This whole thing, what do you mean? About this place, its mysteries, its secrets, the ghost, the mirror, the basement. Why, God forbid, that people, he literally said that, why, God forbid, that people would, like, live in this place, or like, to stay in a hotel, like, reopen. He actually stands up. And I'm like, oh, when I first actually watched this episode, I'm like, oh my goodness, what's he doing? He yells at the ghost. When you look outside, like, from like outside the house, you're like, oh my goodness, this crazy person. But we learn the context. It makes sense. It's like, we're good people. We're good people just trying to run a hotel. We want to do good. And I don't understand why you want to haunt this place. I don't know what you want. Like, tell me. And the ghost, Grace is not answering him, especially since he's yelling. And he's like, okay, fine. I know you drove my father away, but you're not gonna drive us away. We're gonna stay here. Because one, they can't go back to Chicago because they don't have any more money. They don't. They spent the last of it. The last of it. So they have to stay here technically. What was the whole premise of season 1 of where if we go back to Chicago, we can't move anywhere else, and if we stay here, we can't go anywhere else. So that was the whole thing in the end of season 1. So that's why they're staying here. And he's like, you may have drove my father away, but you're not going to drive us away. We're going to keep on fighting. Grace kind of respects this a little bit because she turns the light on. Because if she was mad, she would make the whole house like crumble or something or erupt. The lights come back on. And they're like, whoa. And even like, Zoe's a little scared. Why? It's like, you go, Dad. And I was like, yeah, like he did a pretty good job. And Ben kind of seems a little confident. Like yeah, kind of listen. But Ben's kind of thinking that maybe there is a ghost here. It's not Savannah, but there's something else going on because the lights just turned on after he yelled at it. Like, there has to be connection. Also, Sarah's kind of getting kind of worried, like, you just yelled at it. And Griffin's kind of like, what else? What else happens? Did anything else happen? Oh, right, I don't think this was the end of the episode, but oh, sorry, there was like 2 things. One, we have Sam looking at the book, like the one that he had when he was younger, when he was 10, and he's like kind of looking at it. He throws it into the springs, like I'm done with time travel basically. And then Savannah's mother like, oh, can you fix this thing? And then a couple of scenes later, of other events, she's like, oh Sam, can you can you see where Savannah is? I can't find her. He's like, oh, I'm sure she will turn up. She kind of like she's in the basement. She's like, hey Savannah, are you down there? He falls down the staircase. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my goodness. And he's like, oh. But remember when he said about the whole going into the springs, it extended Grace's life? Well, that's a kind of extending Sam's life, but maybe not. I think it was just basically an accident, and he's like in his 40s, so it could happen to someone in their 40s. So yeah, but he had a big fall. I was like, oh my goodness, I hope he's okay. But I believe that's it. Like at the end of Topher was him going to his room. Wyatt and Zoe kind of like Wyatt cheering on his father while Zoe's kind of scared. Sarah's kind of scared. Griffin's kind of oh my goodness, the lights back on. Ben yelling at the ghost. Harper, Savannah, and Grace. No, not Grace. Grace is still in the house. Not Grace. What was it? Wait, Harper, Savannah, and Daisy are basically, Harper's not revealing what she wants to do with the document, basically. We have, Elijah's still at the home. Judge Walker is still at, at his office, basically. So I'm just trying to see if I'm missing anything. Oh, no visions this episode. So that's kind of interesting. But maybe of what she wanted to know is what she wanted to know, about she got right that Judge Walker was gonna burn the place because why didn't she get any visions? Or maybe it's just not frequent and it just didn't happen this episode. Maybe she was so focused on one thing that it couldn't happen. Who knows? But yeah, I guess spoilers for Secrets of Sulphur Springs season 2 episode 7, which is the episode before the finale, where we have Savannah going back to 1962, saying like, "Mom, where's Sam?" Say, "Oh, Sam took a big fall," and then we see a bed again. Spoilers. Step away if you don't want to see anything. Where we see a bed that's empty, getting folded back into place for the next patient. Has Savannah kind of crying, "Is he?" and cuts off from her. Where we have see Wyatt actually in a bed. Maybe he's getting a little bit more confident, not sleeping on the floor. Where we have Sarah saying like, "Oh, it's pretty cool of your dad to send him to the ghost," and then Wyatt's like, or he made it mad. But Wyatt's a little bit more confident to sleep with next to Zoe in the same bed, like not on the floor. So he's getting a little bit more confident, but he's still wearing the hat. And what next? Oh, and then we basically have Griffin saying like, not Grace. Why am I saying Grace? Saying Daisy, why are you still here? Like I told you to switch back, but I guess this might be part of Harper's plan, maybe, or maybe it's just Harper. They're maybe gonna punk him or something. Like because they look so alike, but who knows? Because they have similar hairstyles, I think. No, Harper has longer hair. I had shorter hair, but maybe Harper changed her hair. I forgot. But yeah, so those are the things for episode 7, and oh my goodness, a lot of stuff happens. But yeah, everyone. So this was episode 6, Crunch Time, and what should I give it? 95, 90. Trying to see if there's anything else. It's just minor stuff. It's not and nothing big. This is a fantastic show. It's usually nothing big, unless like you gloss over a plot point they did like in a previous episode. It was either the previous or the one before it, where I was like, oh come on, why'd you have to do that? But that doesn't happen this episode, thank goodness. So something to worry about. Let's see, 95, 90. 85. I remember another thing. 80. I'm trying to think. Should I give it an 85% or 90? A B plus or a solid A? Like Because would I say would episode 6 stand along with episode 5? Like would it be? Is it fantastic? I'm thinking of giving it an 85%, B plus, because of the fact there is not a lot of stuff that was revealed, except that we get back to 205, but just as a miss, but we had to knew that something was going on there. Emmett finally left, but like I was kind of like thinking, would that happen? And it did happen. I'm glad it was only 3 episodes. It wasn't just 1 episode, so that was pretty good. Ben sending up to the ghost, that was pretty big. But if we go back to episode 5, there was like so much that happened. Sam falling down, that was actually something big. So, but even though we had those like big things, because we don't really go back to Sam all that much like we did back in episode 5. So, but it was still a great episode. But I think it was just that. I think it was just great. And sweet moments between Daisy and Griffin, but it's just about getting Daisy home, and just something that prevented about the whole power situation, the electricity and stuff like that. And they brought up the crystal crack again, so yeah, something's gonna happen. But again, I guess this is like, I don't want to say my least favorite or like the worst episode of season 2, but it's still great. It's just a B plus while everything else is an A. So I guess you could say it's my least favorite just because not a lot of stuff happens this episode, because it's already we expected. We already we learned about Grace kind of exciting her life. So did Sam do the same thing? Because like he's in the 1960s, not the 1930s. So is he using the springs for that? Judge Walker, like, is he gonna go behind his word? You can kind of suspect that you kind of don't trust him. Sam doesn't trust him. So, like, that kind of not it didn't seem predictable, but you can kind of see it coming. Daisy going back, we had to set the timeline, or we're gonna have a multiversal branch situation. So we kind of knew that she was gonna go home, but in the spoilers for episode 7, it kind of seemed that she's maybe not going home. Like maybe part of Harper's plan. Harper's keeping a secret, and to the point where I'm kind of like, what are you planning? I'm getting kind of concerned. So that's why he's only great, not fantastic, but it's better than good and okay and bad. It's great. It's a B plus. So. Yeah. So yeah, everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Secrets of Sulphur Springs Season 2, Episode 7. Man, I forgot the name of it. Dang it. But it'll be tomorrow. And I'll see you guys then. Okay? Bye.